I just finished watching VHS Halloween, the latest entry in the VHS franchise, and I have some hot takes on all the segments, so let's get into it with the wraparound segment. Now, the wraparounds are always pretty pointless to me. I've never liked an entry of VHS with the wraparound segment. I just think they're always the weakest point. And this one, they try and tie in something funny and horrific with the whole poltergeist, soda, whatever. I just don't care for it. The ending shot, which is the screen behind me, where the little girl says something really funny at the end, like, that was funny, but yeah, I generally fucking hate all the wraparound segments. Now let's get into the actual stories. The first segment is weirdly titled Coochie Coochie Coo, and follows two girls who go into a randomly appeared out of nowhere house during Halloween to get some candy. I really love this shot where it's like this arm appears out of the dark with the candy. And yeah, this one, very strange story. There's some minimal body horror, if you like, but I really like this segment. There is some controversy about the use of AI, and I was disappointed when I first heard about this, and then I found out it was for one image. One fucking image. Boo-hoo, who cares? We have bigger things to deal with in terms of fighting AI compared to the filmmakers using it for one single image. Let's be real. Anyway, really like this one. There was some really great angles to this, really like the found footage element. I mean, VHS is supposed to be found footage, and this one I felt was actually more realistic. There was some twists and turns in this that I appreciated as well, so yeah, really love this one. Forgive me, I cannot remember the title of this one, but I know translated into English, it's As Above, So Below. Very mixed feelings about this one. I will say that the ending of this one, where he pulls out the eyeballs of all the police and investigators, was horrifying to watch. I was like this the whole time. Likewise, there's a scene where he vomits up the eyeballs of all the previous victims from the night prior. And I thought that was clever because they do state, he does state in the segment that he feels sick and whatever, but you don't expect him to vomit up eyeballs. And yeah, there's some really interesting camera angles with this one, showing them all being risen to the ceiling and everything. But yeah, I just thought this could have been a bit stronger. So yeah, still liked it, but just didn't love it. The third segment, Fun Size, is one of my all-time favourites in the whole VHS found footage world. And in Fun Size, it follows a group of teenagers as they break, I guess, the general rule of taking more than one piece of candy. And as a result, they get transported to some weird dimension or whatever where they are picked off one by one. And they're also stalked and chased by this weird, creepy character that kind of looks like Elmer on meth or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of comedy in this. There's a lot of really fun horror scenes to it. Is it generally scary? No, but to me, this feels like a modern day adults only Goosebumps episode. I really, really love this one. The ending was funny. Just, yeah, check this one out because I really loved it. I'm going to start off by saying that I understand why people like the Kid Prince segment because it is quite disturbing and we don't necessarily see children involved in horror, etc. To me, it just hits a bit too close to home. So watching this, I was so uncomfortable. I did not like this segment for how bleak it was. And yes, it is funny considering this is a horror TikTok account, you know. But I don't know, this rubbed me the wrong way. I found it very disturbing. I will give it props for spotlighting the fact that generally the people who, you know, God forbid, attack kids in real life and everything are the ones who you least suspect. It's often people who are smiling and happy and everything. It's not these monsters or whatever. Yeah, it's again, just hit too close to home. So yeah, personally, I didn't like it, but I understand why people do. So if you are looking for like disturbing horror that's more along the lines of like the Poughkeepsie tapes, this is the segment for you. And lastly, we have Home Haunt. This segment has been hyped up by a lot of websites like bloodydisgusting.com, etc., talking about how this is the modern day adult Goosebumps episode. I disagree. I actually found this segment very boring. Maybe it's just because it's coming to the end of VHS and, you know, maybe they saved some of the best for last or some of the worst for last. I just didn't care for this segment. I mean, I see why people do like this, but again, we've had two stronger entries that focus on Halloween and people going out getting candy and everything, and I thought those two segments were much stronger than this one. But, you know, that's not me shitting on the filmmakers. This is just my personal preference in terms of stuff that I want to watch. So, you know, still recognizing throughout all these VHS segments that there's a huge amount of work that's gone into this, whether it be writing or directing or script writing. Just this segment fell a bit flat for me, but that's okay. So overall, I do think VHS Halloween is a step up compared to VHS Beyond. I do think it's one of the more middle of the road entries into the franchise, but I still think it's a really fun watch. So if you have Shudder, make sure you go check this out, or go on Pirate Bay, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the segments in the comments as well. I'm always interested to see how people also felt about the Kid Prince segment in particular, or maybe you preferred Home Haunt over Fun Size or Coochie Coochie Coo, etc. And also interested if other people liked the As Above So Below segment. I do think that one's quite underrated after thinking about it and doing this video, but yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. We also have a podcast called Complete Guide to Horror where we've just covered Together and Weapons, so check that out in our bio. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.